How do you do?
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The View from the Midwest. I am the last sane sports fan. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the St. Louis Rams and their potential move to Los Angeles / London / staying in St. Louis. Basically, what I want to talk about more is not so much the move, but the position that the fans are put in right now. And the situation as it is right now is the St. Louis Rams just fired their head coach, Steve Spagnuolo. We've hired Jeff Fisher to be our head coach. They've got a good staff coming in. They hired Greg Williams as the defensive coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer as an offensive coordinator. So they got some good coaches coming in to try to help this team. And I don't think that this team is devoid of talent. Sam Bradford, I do believe, will be a good, solid NFL quarterback. I think he took a step back this year, but a lot of players have a sophomore slump, whether or not they're in the same offense that they were the previous year or not. And Schottenheimer is going to be the third offensive coordinator that Bradford has had in 3 years, so hopefully Bradford can get a little bit of continuity going in his career. But the problem that is going on right now is the St. Louis Rams lease, the Edward Jones Dome, is up in 2015. And there are whispers that are becoming rumbles. They might look into moving back to Los Angeles. And whether or not that's a good business move or not, you could argue that till you're blue in the face. The thing that upsets me is the way that this is being done to the fans, because right now the St. Louis Rams just signed a deal with the NFL and England to play 3 home games in London. Now, these won't be in the same year. They'll be for the next 3 years, which coincidentally enough runs through the lease with St. Louis. So you could go with the conspiracy there that Kroenke is trying to take away a home game from the St. Louis fans in an effort to make them mad. And less ticket sales here at home mean less chance that he would have to stay if the team improves. As a fan, it upsets me in terms of the overall idea of what are we supposed to do. A lot of fans look at a situation where their team could possibly move or fold or whatever, where they wouldn't be playing in their city anymore, and they start thinking, well, what can we do to try to save our team? And the thing with that is right now it seems like St. Louis has been put in a position where it boils down to whether or not Kroenke wants to keep the team here, regardless. It just seems like St. Louis can do absolutely nothing to save their team right now. They've already had a game each season, a home game, taken away, and I understand that as a business move is a good idea for Stan Kroenke, because if the percentages of what home team versus away team get in terms of the gate remains true for this game over in London, then St. Louis is not going to be able to present enough of a pie for a home game here as opposed to a home game, quote unquote, in London, because you're going to get more fans. They're going to be playing in Wembley Stadium, which holds at least 80,000. And the Edward Jones Dome is pushing 65, maybe 70 on a really, really good day. So you're going to get more people in there. They're going to be charging more because it's an exhibition and you're guaranteed a sellout. St. Louis has had to eat a lot of the tickets recently just to get on TV and keep the fans happy that way. So I understand it from a business decision to fund the team better, but you're taking away home games from the fan base here in St. Louis. You're taking away revenue from the city. I mean, a lot of people, whether they're bar owners, restaurant owners, the people who work concessions, they plan on that money going into the season, and you're taking away a game from them. So it almost seems like he doesn't care what goes on in St. Louis. It's like, I don't care if they don't have enough revenue. I'm looking out for myself. And again, I understand how that's a good business decision, and that those kind of decisions are probably how he made a lot of money, although he did make some of his money, if not a lot, by marrying into the Walmart family. But that's neither here nor there. But St. Louis doesn't seem to be in control of their destiny, because on the one hand, you can say, well, if we show up to the remaining 7 games that we have on the home schedule, we pack the stadium full, we give him a lot of revenue, and the team improves or whatever, then maybe he won't move the team. But it seems to me as though he's going to move it if he wants to, regardless of what the situation is. So in that aspect, it's like, okay, well, so we've spent our hard-earned money on this team that we've grown to love for the last 15 plus years, and you're just going to take it out from under us. And now all of a sudden we look stupid because we supported this team for the last couple years, knowing that they might leave, and we tried to save them, and he didn't care. And on the flip side, it's like, well, you can say, okay, well, we're going to show our displeasure with how he's treating the team and how he's treating the fans and the city by not going to games. And then that's probably just even more likely to drive him away, because he's going to just use that as an example of saying, see, look there, they don't want to show up to my games. We gave them every opportunity to save their team. So it boils down to, what choice does a fan have? You can either support your team and look like a fool 3 years down the road, or you can not support your team and then have the team taken away because we're doing it as a protest. So it's taken the power out of the hands of the St. Louis Rams fans, and it just becomes a situation of, what are we supposed to do? We want this team to stay in St. Louis. Yes, there are idiots out there who say, oh, go ahead and let them leave, then I can watch a good football game on Sunday.
Shut up! You don't know nothing about anything.
There are only 31 cities in this country that are privileged enough to have an NFL team. New York is lucky enough to have 2 of them. Los Angeles had their chance. They've already lost 2 franchises. St. Louis deserves better than this. And everybody says, well, you have to make the best business decision for Stan Kroenke. Well, for once in my life, I would like to hear somebody come out and say, you know what? Sticking with these people is a good business decision.
Dad, I'm such a genius.
No, it might not make him as much money, but these guys are millionaires, sometimes billionaires. They're not hurting for money. They didn't make their money by owning a team. They bought a team because they thought it would be a good way to bring in a little bit of extra cash flow, and it would be fun to tinker with. It would be fun to go to places and say, hey, I'm the owner of such and such a team. Nobody bought a team when they were poor, built it up from the ground, and is making boatloads of money off of a professional sports franchise. Most professional sports franchises are not making a ton of money, and a lot of them are losing money. So the bottom line is, I would like to hear somebody say, okay, no, it's not going to make me the most money in the world, but I believe in these people. I support these fans, and I want to do what's best for them instead of what's best for me, the owner.
You genius! You've done it again.
Unfortunately, we don't live in a society where that happens very often, if at all. And again, I understand that these people didn't make a lot of money by doing foolish things, but by the same token, it's like St. Louis may not be a gold mine. You may not have the advertising revenue that you could get out in Los Angeles. You're not going to have the movie stars showing up to your football games. But you've got good, hard-working, blue-collar people who are willing to support this team, and the power has been taken out of their hands. And right now, it's just an uneasy time to be a Rams fan, from my perspective, because you have 3 years with this team, but you don't know that there's anything that we can do as a fan base to help the owner decide to stay here. It's basically boiling down to whether or not he wants to stay or not. And I think St. Louis is going to be put, the thing that I worry about is that St. Louis is going to be put behind the 8 ball, that Kroenke will try to be generous and tell us that, well, I really want to keep the team here, but we need top flight facilities, and you guys are going to have to pony up for a new stadium. Otherwise,
whoa.
and the people aren't going to be able to do that because they want the team to stay, but the economy is not such right now that the fans can just pony up extra tax dollars to help pay for a multi-million-dollar facility. That's what's upsetting about not just football, not just Stan Kroenke, but athletics in general right now in terms of the professional ranks, is they just don't understand where the common man who wants to go to these games, wants to help out their team, wants to support the team that they love, they just cannot afford to pay some of these prices and some of these taxes that are going to be levied to build new arenas or new stadiums. And there's just such a lack of keeping in touch with the fan base that it's just very disappointing.
Oh, no. You're kidding me.
And that's about it for this rant. Hopefully I didn't alienate too many people and just go off on a bunch of tangents. It's just one of those things that I felt that I needed to get out there because it's been kind of boiling over in my head, this question of what are the fans supposed to do? And if you guys have any suggestions of what you think you would do as a fan if your team was trying to move or in one of these situations where it was a big question mark, go ahead and leave them down in the comment box, and hopefully we'll start a little dialogue here. But until next time, I'm the Last Saying Sports Fan, and this has been A View from the Midwest. See you next time.
I just knew too much.